A cornerstone in Maui sports officiating for 43 years, Joseph Cardoza began his long, successful career in 1977. After being recruited to the Maui Football Association from a friend, Joseph quickly rose up the ranks, working youth, JV, and varsity football games. His calm, steady, but firm presence on the field earned him great respect among his peers. For nearly every big game on Maui, Joseph was there, including a 4-overtime MIL championship game in the early 80s. Joseph ascended to senior referee of the association and rode a rocket ship to a successful prep career that included the first 5 years of the HHSAA football playoffs. His unmatched work ethic, along with his passion for the game, earned him higher opportunities later in his career, working in NCAA games in the Western Athletic Conference and numerous Hula Bowls from 1998 to 2005. Working alongside other notable officials like Joe Ornelas, Frank White, Lloyd Hisaka, Mike Pereira, and 2018 Hall of Famer Earl Galdera, Joseph's relentless pursuit to better himself as an official has made him one of the gold standards in the sport. Since 2012, Joseph Cardoza has served as Chief Judge for the Second Circuit in the state of Hawaii and was honored as State Jurist of the Year in 2018. Whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, Joseph Cardoza just lays down the law with his infectious personality, attention to detail, and genuine love in everything he does.
Hi Joe, congratulations on your induction into the Officials Hall of Fame. Thank you for your 40+ years of service from Pop Warner to high school and college bowl games. Thank you for mentoring the up-and-coming officials and for being a role model on how to be a professional on and off the field. On behalf of the Maui Interscholastic League, student athletes, coaches, parents, and fans, mahalo for all your selfless service to Maui County and the state of Hawaii.
All rise for the newest member into the Hall. Congratulations to 2022 Hawaii Sports Officials Hall of Fame inductee, Joseph Cardoza.
Aloha and good evening, everyone. Felipe, I'll start with you. I got a bad news, good news, breaking news information for you. We'll start with the bad news. God appreciates the prayers that you have delivered. However, you were cited, and you do have a ticket on your car. The good news. Now, you may not view it as good news, but the community does, and that is Hawaii judges cannot help you with your ticket. That's the way it's supposed to work. The breaking news is that even if we could, I'm actually a retired judge, although I'm a working official. Okay. All right. Okay, so thank you all very much for being here on this special occasion. My heartfelt congratulations to those being inducted and recognized this evening. Your hard work has no doubt served many in a very positive way. Thank you to all of those who made this event possible and to the committee. I know a lot of work goes into this and a lot of thought, so I sincerely appreciate that. To those who have come from Maui and from across the state, thank you so much for being here, and that includes those from Oahu. Now, those with whom I have had the privilege of working in officiating throughout the years, and those who thought myself deserving of this recognition, thank you so much for your kindness. There are obviously too many people to name, and so I don't want to leave anyone out, so I won't attempt to name anyone. But I do appreciate it. And that includes the Maui Football Officials Association, the various crews I've worked with at various levels, the Maui Interscholastic League, the various schools, colleges, coaches, players, the press, the fans, and all of those in our communities and throughout other states as well. I sincerely appreciate all of that and their kindness. It's something that I admire, and I admire the work of all. And for those of you that have come this evening, thank you so very much. And I certainly admire and appreciate the guidance that you have given me throughout the years. It's been critically important to me. Now, I also, of course, want to thank, first and foremost, my family, who sacrificed so much and have been so supportive, and all the families who support officials, because as you've just seen a perfect example of it, it really does take a family, and our families really are the backbone of everything we do as officials. Now, I'm not sure if I'm deserving of this recognition, but I think all of you know this. No one stands at this podium, no one stands receiving this recognition without really being a representative of the collective efforts of all. There are certain ones that are recognized, but really it's an entire team. It takes everyone to make this work. And so today, or this evening, I stand here representing the collective efforts of all. And through the many years of that I've had the privilege of experiencing officials at officiating at various levels, I'm certainly appreciative of that. 47 years ago, I was approached by a couple of officials from the Maui Football Officials Association, and they asked me, would you please come out and officiate? And of course, my answer was no way. And for 1 year, they kept on talking to me about, come on, you got to come out, you got to come out. And I'm like, no way, I'm not going to go out there. Well, I'll tell you what, finally I agreed to come out, and but provided I would only work chain. And early in the season, I was shocked because at a meeting, I heard my name assigned, and I was assigned to 2 youth football games. And I asked them after the meeting, hey, I thought I was just going to work chain. I don't want to get on the field. And they asked me, oh, come on, give it a try, give it a trial. And so I did. And, you know, I found that actually it was very rewarding, and I enjoyed it. And I've enjoyed the relationship I've had with coaches over the years. I'll have to admit that a lot of coaches have tried to pitch in some money so they could get me a good vision insurance program. You know, and they keep on telling me, make sure you go see your eye doctor, please, because, you know, it's getting tricky out there. But I'll tell you, it's, you know, when I started the My Football Officials Association, we had a lot of officials. And, you know, you paid your dues before you got on the field. And that's the way it should have been. And so we had more than enough game officials, and so, you know, you went ahead and you learned. And actually, the generation that was there when I started, they came from a generation where and now we had 4 high schools on Maui. They had 90 members in their association, 90. And some of those officials never saw the field, but they were proud members of the association, and they learned. And so it was really interesting to learn from them, their experiences. And they spanned everything from middle-aged individuals to individuals in their 90s. In fact, one of our outstanding officials, was an outstanding athlete for the University of Hawaii in football during the post-World War II era. And he himself waited 11 years to get on the field. He paid his dues, as I've mentioned, and once he got on the field, he was an outstanding official. You know, I think the lesson from that was that there was no financial consideration at the time. They officiated, or they supported officials. The reward they received was that of doing something positive for the community in a sport they enjoyed. These individuals and their dedication and their knowledge served as an inspiration for all of us who became officials. Now, later in my career, I became a judge, and you know, that, of course, didn't make a difference on the field, but it did provide me with some interesting moments. And I remember I had a game once, and one of our officials made a call, and although I thought it was the right call, I knew it was going to be a very popular call. So, and as a head referee, I had to announce the penalty. And so as soon as I did, of course, one half of the stadium went, and there was a large crowd at the game. One half of the stadium was just all boos, and then it died down. It was quiet because I wanted to get the action going. And then I heard someone in the stands yell out. Apparently, he was being criticized for not criticizing us, because I heard him yell out, "I no can say nothing about him because He's my judge. So I thought, okay, all right. Well, that's one of the advantages, I guess, of being a judge. Now, I know that one of the biggest fears of any prospective official is to deal with the reaction of coaches, players, and fans. And I thought that Hall of Fame coach Lou Holtz, who recently shared something, had a good thing going. And that is, he shared that he had a special way of dealing with criticism. He said he would always answer all letters he received, good or bad. If the letter was nasty, he would reply, "Dear Jim, just thought you should know that some idiot is writing this letter and signing your name and hurting your reputation. If I were you, I'd find out who it is and put a stop to it." And I thought, well, that's an interesting approach. Maybe I should start letter writing. At any rate, in reality, I think as we all know as officials, there really isn't too much time to be thinking about coaches or fans, because you've got all the mental checklists you have to work through during a play and after a play. So, and that I think makes the officiating great. I have found it to be a truly rewarding experience. And in today's world, my world, I now meet players who are the grandchildren of the players that I first officiated. And I do meet players that I've officiated over the years in the community. And they always have some very positive stories to share about their lives. And it's really good to see them doing so well in our community. So what I think this does is lead to the central question: what are we doing out there as officials? In my view, we are not just officiating a sport. I have often told coaches and others that we are not adversaries, even though some people think we are. Coaches coach, officials officiate, but our core mission is the same. We teach life. That is at the core of everything we do as officials. The challenge in the future is to encourage others to serve as officials. That is of critical importance. Events like this help to encourage and inspire others. For this, I thank all of you for your good work. And in closing, I express to you my sincerest and humblest mahalo and aloha for all of your kindness. Mahalo to all of you. Thank you.